Hey, good morning, Sankar. Welcome. Great to see you in person, and welcome to the podcast series. So, hey, everybody watching. My name is Jari Salomaa. I'm the CEO of Valo.ai. I'm the host today to an exciting episode. We have Sankar, director for business IT at Uponor, George Fisher company, joining us. So, welcome, Sankar.
Thanks, Jari. Thanks for having me. And also, I have to say it's a pleasure coming for this podcast, and also nice talking to you. You are also one of the leading industry expert and an entrepreneur, innovator. It's my pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much. So for the audience, why don't we do a quick introduction? Who is Sankar? What kind of work you do? What is Uponor, George Fisher? And what type of work you do, and maybe concluding, how did you end up in this Salesforce ecosystem?
Sure, absolutely. Myself, Sankar Sivagnanam. I'm from India, so southern part of India, and working for Uponor. Now it's part of the George Fisher Group. We have been acquired nearly 2 years ago, and now our Uponor is renamed into Building Flow Solutions. And I work as a director in IT. I lead sales, marketing, and PLM applications. So basically, I have three different teams. The most important one, Salesforce ecosystem. That I lead globally, and then web applications. It includes our websites and other related ecosystem. And then the third most important one from the product data point of view, so PLM applications. So it includes product data system, product information management, and also digital asset management tools. So these are the teams that I lead globally. And from Uponor point of view, Uponor is a well-known brand based out of Finland in the past. So I'm sure probably you are our customer, probably. So we were providing hot and cold water solutions, plumbing, piping solutions extensively both in Europe and in North America. Now that we have been acquired from a larger group, George Fisher, which is based out of Schaffhausen in Switzerland. And now we are actually having these two divisions overall. So Building Flow Solution, which is previously Uponor, which focus on the building flow solutions primarily and products related to that. And then the other division, which focus on industry and infrastructure flow solutions. So basically, the overall George Fisher goal is to become a global leader in flow solutions overall. That's the plan.
Right.
So, and how did I end up in Salesforce? Yeah, it's a long journey. So I'm originally from south of India and started my I wouldn't say CRM career, a call center career. So I worked as a call center agent for this British Telecom, or BT Yahoo, that time it's called, where I was end user for CRM. The interest in CRM grown and ended up in an IT company to work in civil CRM. And then eventually landed in Salesforce around 10 to 11 years ago with Finnair in Finland. And that's where the Salesforce journey started.
That's exciting. You have a very interesting background and working for many large enterprise organizations, solving very concrete and challenging business problems. And that's exciting. So I'm really looking forward for this talk. Maybe we can set a little bit of a context. Many of our audience are Salesforce administrators, architects, platform owners, directors of IT like yourselves, leading teams. Could you maybe describe some of the Salesforce use cases? So for your team, you said sales marketing. What kind of things and use cases Uponor team is doing in Salesforce, and then maybe a little bit about the business, so how you're divided. You have a European business and you have a North America business, right, if I understand right.
Yeah, so we have a multi-org instance at the moment. And let's say if I split this Salesforce into three areas, which we focus on. One, Salesforce, the main part of Salesforce, which is like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, or marketing applications, and also self-service portals. I think this is the most main part of Salesforce most companies are using. And then the second part, which is a bit different from most companies, we also have CPQ landscape, which is quite an interesting product on its own. And then the third one is the platform oriented. So where we are focusing on Salesforce platform from the IT perspective to ensure good processes and safeguarding the system. For example, DevSecOps, we have processes built around it, or the backup solutions, or archiving solutions, or backup and archiving, and also other security solutions like Valo. So this is taking care of the platform. These are the three different areas. The Salesforce main is primarily focused on sales, service, marketing processes, and also we have a thriving partner and customer community. So for the B2B side of it, and then the CPQ, which primarily focus on quotation processes, and it bridges the gap between our CRM platform and ERP platform. So these are the three major areas that we are focusing on at the moment.
It's quite a big area of responsibility and a lot to do in a billion-dollar organization such as your team is. Could I ask maybe how do you guys prioritize and how do you manage your growing backlog of work items and internal processes? Weekly meetings, tools, anything maybe from your process perspective, looking and being the director of the team, like what is some best practices that maybe some others in the audience could benefit from managing the complexity of many tools, many use cases, like internally, consultants, growth opportunities, like how are the processes built towards a smooth operation and growth?
Yeah, actually, that's an excellent question. So I would take this into three different goals that primarily me and my team focuses on. So if I take this process, tools, and people as a basis, so we thrive in IT. We thrive to deliver the high-performing applications, which is managing the needs of business all the times and with the best architecture possible, and manages all the demands, expectations, and so on. And then the other side is the process, where we would like to drive excellence through processes. One, for example, DevOps processes, and later we matured into DevSecOps process. We have very matured DevSecOps overall. And then Agile Scrum process, which enables us to manage the demand in a more agile way. And also we have a very good demand management process. So where the business can raise requirements from any parts of the world, and it is streamlined through a business process team and as well as the IT team, and goes through this model of PIP. We have program increment planning, SAFe model partially involved, and Agile Scrum processes to take care. And also another aspect is also to measure these outcomes, what we are delivering through effective KPIs, metrics, mechanism, the reporting mechanism that we follow. Yeah. And the third aspect, of course, the people aspect, that how we cannot manage this demand and implement the process if we don't build our capabilities for the team. So we are building the capabilities and skill sets of the team on a regular basis through many, like attending sessions, webinars, online trainings, offline trainings, and attending events like Dreamforce, where we can take inspiration from other customers. So on a nutshell, let's say that we are trying to grow in a very organic way in all the streams.
Making sure that people have the information they need to grow and do their job. On the second point, I'm curious on, I've been talking a couple of times in this podcast series with consultants about the need of documentation, and it's a double-edged sword in a way that, often I think organizations don't have a lot of documentation. And then when you do have documentation, it can be quickly obsolete. But what are your thoughts on when you think about business process or ticketing systems, perhaps as you're getting requirements from the business, they have changes, custom objects, new fields, new tools, better reporting, kind of capabilities that then those requirements are well documented or well understood. How is your team addressing that?
Yeah, this is a bit of an interesting topic. I don't know if any company on the planet has a perfect documentation.
Right.
So I think we are, let's say, an improving organization on this aspect. So we have pitched in some process tools for documenting processes. So we have a very good systems like Signavio, for example, to manage our process documentation and future processes. And Confluence, we use the Atlassian suite end-to-end to monitor all the technical documentation, Jira, and all the the requirements which is coming as part of the Jira user stories, acceptance criteria, and so on. And then metrics, which are a reporting system. We have implemented reporting mechanism on top of Jira to ensure the tickets, if there is a tickets moving from one sprint to another sprint due to the lack of details and so on, we monitor those so that we can, if there is a lack of information, lack of testing, or lack of developments, time period and so on, or inaccurate story points, anything. So we're able to trace back to find the root cause and fix it. So this also addresses some of the gaps where we originally had between what business team wanted and what IT team understood. So we are trying to minimize the gaps as much as possible through this. Yeah.
That's a great answer, Sankar. Let's pivot into a little bit on this security and trust topic inside Salesforce. So I, as a former director at Salesforce, I was leading product management efforts around Salesforce Shield and event monitoring, transaction security, big objects, a number of other initiatives. And within the security topic, often I was telling customers that Salesforce offers a shared security model, that we as Salesforce provide tools to customers, consultants, and then it's up to them to configure it correctly, use the right tools for the right problems. And obviously in Salesforce, you can lead very heavily on the way that what platform defaults are, or you can go into customization. You can really extend the platform in any possible direction. And sometimes it's a great opportunity, but sometimes can be double-edged sword. Absolutely. You can actually go way too much into customization, results into problems. And when it comes to security, profile permissions, permission set sharing, it can be difficult to fully understand even how the system is configured, especially if the Salesforce been around for a long time, and to get like a proper sense of the picture. What is being developed here, and what are the profiles? How is access control managed, for example? How are you approaching or thinking about, technical debt or the shared security model, where you might have certain kinds of principles that being implemented at a certain time related to, let's say, access controls or what systems are connected to the environment, but then you have this business pressure of change, something new, but like you're not always able to satisfy, or you have to find a compromise related to the change that you're doing because of the history or the legacy right. things. And I'm curious on these kind of bigger initiatives. And we for instance, saw Salesforce itself talk about these profile permissions and moving to permission set type of conversations, which is a security best practice. But a lot of people, I would say, in the ecosystem see it as a mountain of work. It's a lot of work. Do I absolutely need it? Where do I strike balance with security and usability, or have the right time to actually move into the better security model? And I'm curious, so within your teams, how are you addressing technical debt or trust and security, and finding that balance between this shared model that, have we done the right decision? Do we have the right configuration? And I guess essentially, to your third point, ensuring that the people in your team have the right information and training and being to the certifications, conferences to get the accumulate knowledge around that they are doing the right thing in right. Salesforce.
Yeah, I think it's a very comprehensive topic you touched, and there is no straight answer to this, and there is no easy way out for this. I think, let's say that we are learning and improving as we progress. I read this quote from one of your Valo associate, Mikko Hipponen. Right. He mentioned complexity is the enemy of security.
That's right.
So he has hit the nail, because everything looks great from Salesforce platform point of view. Salesforce platform provides one of the most comprehensive access mechanism, safety, security mechanism, no doubt about it. But over a period, based on the complexity of our organization structure and the needs from different units, and especially Europe is quite a complex region as such when compared to North America is. So these needs grows gradually and eventually creates a complex setup in Salesforce.
Yes.
And that leads to various access rights issue where people have more access than what they should. And then we have quite a lot of exceptions that we create over a period. And then some are team-specific needs, some are region-specific needs, some are process-specific needs. So the complexity and access rights or security, managing security becomes a nightmare. So this has been the case for most organizations. So we are trying to apply this principle where we go for the most restrictive option as a beginning and then open up as much as possible. So we have this, and also consistently we see a reorganization also takes place in the company.
All the time.
Then we have to redefine this whole thing again on the access rights. So we have this challenge, but we have, let's say, managed to learn from our past mistakes over a period. When we gave the initial project, when we implemented Salesforce for Europe, for example, 5 years ago, the setup was different, and now we are in a lot, let's say, in terms of profiles, roles, permission set groups, sharing rules. We have done quite a lot of, let's say, reorganization there to minimize the number of access rights and then ensure that people fit in within this. Exceptions are handled through approval process so that we don't create too many exceptions. So we have, let's say, managed to strike some balance, but again, this requires quite a lot of administrative overhead. And I think this is one area where Valo has pitched in exceptionally well. So we do have a gap in terms of what users can do actually. So how much access rights they have versus what they actually use it.
Right.
So we don't have this visibility within the application. So this is where this visibility Valo has provided us. That is providing a great deal of help, because we have different type of users who are like users who are just a normal business user. Then we have business administration user. Then we have key users. Then we have super key users, and then we have integration users. So the access rights, it's a nightmare to monitor the special users and what they are capable, because they have more rights than what they should do.
Right.
So we are able to track them better now in terms of what they actually use it. And we are also able to proactively act if there is a problem with those users' rights. So and Valo has helped us immensely in this gap.
Thank you, Sankar, for a great reference. Love happy customers. I'm curious on when we talk about users, there are also these apps, app connections, websites, name credentials. There's many ways to interact with Salesforce. And now, of course, emerging AI agents. But what's your take on third-party risk? Another important area where Valo is analyzing applications that are connected to Salesforce, what they're doing, what are they? There's a security scoring. There's a number of capabilities, understanding those third-party connections. How important is that to your team?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think let's say from being a Salesforce owner, IT owner, this connected apps or this managed packages is a mystery world. We trust those vendors, obviously. So we go by the reference, we go by use cases or the case studies. We trust them. But the gap or the security issues, what they can create, goes unnoticed. I think, and also the complexity what they bring goes unnoticed. So first time when we used Valo's connection graph, that gave us a comprehensive picture. We were really surprised that we have so many apps connected to our Salesforce ecosystem.
Right.
So that visibility was absolutely stunning, and also the security score that you add on top of it gave us the confidence in terms of what kind of ecosystem we have, how safe it is. I think this security score and connection graph was immensely useful for us to get the initial overview. And as we dig in now, that Valo product also has evolved immensely. So now we are able to dig into each of these packages and see any unusual pattern in these packages, because all these connected apps and managed packages comes with the security token and unlimited access to our application, most cases, and monitoring them and monitoring any unusual pattern or access or data API calls and data accesses. Valo is able to help us proactively to notify us. I think this security risk concern, I think we have managed to address through Valo.
Yeah,
and it is a great help for us.
Did you notice also in the news recent months has been this hacker group called the Scattered Spider, and they basically went after many regulated organizations in the insurance space in England and UK. Maybe some companies, I think Marks and Spencer, Harrods Department Store, Aflac in US, Qantas Airlines have been mentioned. And in this scenario, the attackers actually contact an admin or an employee of an organization to ask them to provide a connection token to an application which is actually not the right data loader, and then when the connection gets established, they don't go through the side door. They just basically walk through the front door. They are very skilled English speakers, pretending to be calling from the IT department. And one thing, of course, is you can educate your end users, admins, to really recognize that IT would never make this type of request or this type of a call. But having humans as weak links, Valo, of course, is monitoring these connections. And if there is a spike or if there's an activity, it produces an alert to inform the Valo administrators of this anomalous activity existing inside the organization. But I think this has been one of the first times we're really seeing this year Salesforce as the attack surface, that organizations know that there's valuable data in Salesforce and they are really coming after that. So I'm really pleased to hear that third-party risk and these connected applications are a priority for you to be able to continuously evaluate, because I am genuinely concerned that many organizations don't know what systems are connected to their Salesforce, if there are any apps that can produce unwanted consequences and leak data out from their Salesforce.
Absolutely. I think the risk is clearly explained, and also it's understated by many users or organizations. We had a cybersecurity incident 3 years ago, so we had some experience, first-hand experience, what damage it can do and how harmful it can be. And I think this third-party security tokens or this access rights is largely, let's say that there is a trust or assumption that it is safe because it's from a well-known vendor or a product. But it's better to be more proactively monitoring and safeguard our system. It's mandatory requirement nowadays than putting the trust on the third-party vendors alone.
Right. And even though an organization can publish their application in an app market like App Exchange, there also is sequential updates and new functionality, roadmaps, and other capabilities as those vendors expand their reach. I think it's important for all organizations to be in the know that these are, like human users, often more powerful, but with the same capabilities. A human can maybe interact with, a couple hundred records maybe in a day. An app or a script can actually clear out the database in a matter of hours. Definitely. So it can be quite powerful. But hey, everything in Salesforce is really tied to a license. So I'd like to maybe pivot a little bit to the business side and kind of talk a little bit about the kind of the elephant in the room sometimes is the Salesforce costs. Salesforce is quite a costly system. I think for many organizations, it is the core business system enabling a lot of the selling. But I would love to understand a little bit of how you map and manage licenses. Another important area that Valo is looking into, that what are some of the practices when you're negotiating with Salesforce or with other vendors? Are you reviewing licenses annually, every quarter? What has been some of the practices before Valo or after Valo, if you see of the process changing?
Sure. I think license management is one of the main area under my responsibility, and also it's one of the complicated area when it comes to Salesforce because of the nature of Salesforce product, and also when compared to other ecosystems we have, Salesforce is not that complicated, but still it is complicated in a way on its own. And also constantly they are also evolving their product landscape, renaming the products or splitting the products or merging the products. Yes. So the license types differs from what we used to have a few years ago and now. we also had we had a large exercise to go through our licenses and renegotiate. And most of the time, we renegotiate for a longer period so that it is not really like a quarterly or annual activity. But we have, let's say, how things have evolved in the recent past. Majority of the licenses, Salesforce is always seat-based or a subscription on user-based. Now they are moving slowly towards credits-based, like Agentforce licenses or Data Cloud or Revenue Cloud also, that they have credits-based. And now let's say that what licenses we have and how well it is used, this gap is always there because of the user adoption and also some usage patterns. I think this is where Valo has helped us to get this overview in terms of the user activities that we can drill down a bit more deeper. So, for example, average logins per week, for example,
right.
And also recommendations that some users are overly using it or underusing it, and what kind of access rates they have. So it gives this. We can get this picture from Salesforce platform. I can go and dig in one by one, and get this overall picture. But Valo provides this overall picture in a comprehensive view, and also you have this AI-based mechanism to give recommendations, what action should I take for these users. I think this has helped us a lot to understand the users, how they actually use the licenses. And also you in Valo, you provide this comprehensive license stack overall. It merges the Salesforce different types of license into a common one. It gives us the most important license I should focus on, not to focus on all the small licenses. I think these two factors helped us when we did the renewal recently. Yeah. But this usage is a the license management is a complicated area because some licenses are permission sets based, permission set groups. So CPQ, for example,
right.
It's a permission set based. So now I don't know about Revenue Cloud. I need to check. Mostly that is also a permission set. So I think the gap, the amount of work what we put to manage this license renewal is enormous. I think Valo is helping us enormously here, I would say. So it is helping us to validate our judgment. So we are trying to judge based on overall count and how users are spread across different units. And when we went to Valo, then we are able to monitor and validate, okay, this is a right decision we are going towards the certain downgrading certain license. I think this has helped enormously, I would say.
So if we summarize, we talk a little bit about the security and some of the business and the license benefits. So of getting kind of like more, security guarantees of understanding permission models and then third-party risk with Valo, but also getting these license benefits. I'm curious on your how does this manifest to your organization in terms of hours saved? Times like you used to be spending days to look for this information. Now you have it in your fingertips. Is the measurement time saved, or like how would you quantify the Valo benefits in terms of to your team? And of course, sometimes security is a little bit abstract, it's like buying insurance. True. I'm curious to hear how maybe the Uponor team is getting these benefits.
I let's say in terms of quantity may be difficult to put it in numbers, but I can give you some example in terms of quality aspect. So the Salesforce administration has evolved quite a lot. So it's the Salesforce as a platform provides us the features and capabilities to be proactive by default. So administrators can act proactively. Yes. But what is the future? The future is to be more strategic. Administration also growing in terms of a strategic role and a transformational role. And this is where the Valo comes into picture. So we are going to able to do one step more with the same set of resources. So we are able to achieve more. We are proactively or strategically able to build on our future license needs, build on our future data storage needs, build on future risk levels at what we are facing. So these kind of additional benefits that what we gain are quite priceless when compared to what we are able to achieve in the past with the same set of resources.
Right.
So this growth, I think this is just a beginning, I would say, but there is a huge potential where I see this AI administrators can become contribute immensely through AI, and also they will be acting as a change agents for the business leaders tomorrow.
Right.
So, and I see a huge potential Valo can add here.
This is a very interesting observation. So to kind of recap and summarize, you're seeing kind of like the change of the Salesforce admin role. The responsibilities is becoming more like a product decision maker, planner. You have certain inputs required to make these decisions. So then, do you think then maybe an admin becomes a little bit like an architect in a way, using these tools, or what happens to organizations or the IT architects that have been kind of like maybe making those decisions as well? Like, maybe admin and the architect are the same role, but I guess they are able to make these decisions faster. They have more data in their fingertips. What used to take longer time to figure out, now they have like more tools to plan, within the new requirements. Is that the message?
So, for example, as administrator, we have multiple hats. So their contribution, for example, to enable business processes quickly, let's say that the business process area, for sure, they have an immense role to play, and data quality area, they have an immense role to play, and then managing a seamless DevSecOps, the processes to ensure the releases, where the production impacts are code quality, and partially architecture, but predominantly ensuring that we have a stable application, performing application. I think they wear multiple hats. In future, what I see where the roles will play more actively evolving Agentforce products, for example, the agentic AI is growing, where the role between business team and IT team are becoming more thinner and thinner with AI agents coming into picture. So where do we, previously it's clear that there is a business process and there is a IT development, then we're transforming from business needs to IT needs. But when it comes to AI needs, where is the business process stops and where is the IT process starts? It actually has to coexist more. The gap is so thin where admins can fill that gap with the business process, definitely, because let's take the agent AI configuration. It's very simple and straightforward. As long as the agent administrator understands the needs easily, then the agentic AI can be enabled quickly. So this process time to value can be achieved by having administrators working as a change agents for the business processes. So the more the admins understand the business processes, they can enable the agents quickly, and multiple agents coexisting together to complete a complex business processes is also a possibility. So we have, let's say, a phenomenal potential here for admins.
Wow, that's really exciting. I'm curious, since you brought up AI and Agentforce, are you excited about Agentforce? Do you have a project that you're thinking about, and how do you maybe subscribe to this Mark Benioff's message of digital labor force and being now able to bring AI agents to perform some human tasks, whether it's in sales or service and marketing? You're using them all. What's going to happen to some of the administrators who maybe been doing these kinds of works, or not necessarily admins, but like, let's say, marketing people or some of the automations? Do you think these automations are going to take human jobs, or then the human jobs evolving to use these extra tools, benefits that the Agentforce is providing?
I mean, am I excited? Definitely yes. I think everyone is. So, and I think we are still, let's say, going through this hype cycle. But in terms of value and future, definitely yes, it has a great future and potential to fulfill quite a lot of needs and automating quite a lot of needs, mix of human activities plus the process automation part. So definitely it has a potential. As this, it is, I think, NVIDIA's CEO, his statement that AI can do most part of what everyone can do, not everything what we can do. So, so I'm sure it will take away some part of your activities, yes, but not everything what you can do. And I think it's the same. So where customer service evolved, 2 decades ago is different from now, it doesn't mean that we have taken away our jobs. We have evolved, let's say, to a more modern way of working. Same with the AI agents, that it can take away some part of what we do, which is very monotonous and recurring activities. But we have to evolve to go to the next level so that the agents can take care of that. So I think that's the future. And in terms of what we are doing at the moment, so there is a focus. We tried some trial runs. There are some quick wins we have. So low-hanging fruits through Agentforce, we did try that. So where we can have a chatbot where people can query, ask any question, it can give back some responses. So we did that with the predefined prompts and so on for sales, customer service, and marketing. So we do see a value. But now we are, of course, the license model has evolved from Salesforce now. So now we are more confident to try that out in a comprehensive way. But let's say that we are working on a plan, and there is a good support from the management also on AI strategy and vision. So that is also helping us to draw out a plan where we define the use cases for sales, service, marketing area, including this CPQ area, and build a ideation process. So first we define the ideas, and then we define the value, what these use cases can bring value. So, and then prioritize. So based on the value, and then take that into kind of an MVP or a POC. And what I noticed that this kind of cases are time consuming. So though it looks like it can change the world, but it takes a lot of time to implement a real world scenario.
That's right.
It takes nearly like minimum 3 to 6 months for a simple use case, a real life use cases. And also the use cases can become complex if we have to automate a process which has to work across applications, not within an application. Then it makes it more complicated. So, but we are trying all type of use cases at the moment planned. So let's say that we will definitely have something more comprehensive progress in the coming months.
Yeah, you definitely have a very interesting seat in an existing, growing, exciting business, as well as then like a roadmap for a lot of exciting things in the future. I think this conversation could keep going on. It's been super insightful and a big pleasure talking with you. I want to conclude with a little bit of a soft topic, because I know that you have a very interesting hobby and a passion outside IT and Salesforce in archaeology. You want to say a few words about, like, I think you were in a recent excavation and made some very exciting discoveries. So can you tell us a little bit about this side of Sankar?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for asking the other side of interest. I come from India, which is one of the ancient civilization on the planet. So you can have many archaeological and historical sites exist, and great inventions and discoveries has happened from this land. So one of the key hobby that I have is to travel this kind of heritage sites and look up to the past civilizational practices, anything, archaeological findings and so on, and from the excavation sites, mainly iconography and architectural things that I'm very interested in. Recently, during my last vacation, we went to one remote parts from my state. There is a remote part of village that we went. The site had two.
Do you want to clarify what's state and where was the site?
Sure. Yeah, I'm from Tamil Nadu, which is the southern part of India. So we went to a remote place. It is Purusadai Udaipu. It's a very complicated name even for me. So we went to that remote place, and it had two interesting things. One, it's from megalithic period, so which is roughly 3,500 to 3,800 years old, burial ground. So how historically, people are buried. So they were buried under these earthen pots, so which are large earthen pots. You can see plenty of earthen pots buried under the ground. So now, of course, there is visibility, because due to all the evolving situation, we can see some of the pots visible from the ground itself now slowly.
Is the ground moving or the ground is receding?
The ground is receding because it's a very red soil. It's made of iron oxide, heavy content of iron oxide. So it's a completely red soil ground. So and also it's a highly monsoon time which we went. So quite a lot of rain. So that gave away quite a lot of place to see. So it was quite interesting to see. And also also there were quite a lot of rare stones found in those parts, and iron equipments, weapons. So Iron Age. So it also indication of Iron Age elements there. And then the most interesting aspect what we saw was astronomical calendar, how it was built during those period. So they have built some kind of a stone structure. So there was multiple rocks placed in a specific angle and location. So there is a mother rock and then child rocks everywhere. So that kind of used to measure this winter solstice and then summer solstice and then equinox. So how this is useful, and also same for the moon cycle also. So how that is useful is that they predict the festivals, they predict the monsoon seasons, they predict the harvest season. So they use this calendar, the astronomical calendar, using this rock mechanism.
And this is nearly 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, 3,500 to 3,800 years
to
ago.
be able to predict, like have a calendar and predict time.
Yeah,
that's quite remarkable.
Yeah. And also the person who discovered this also applied all these mathematical equations, and he was showing that, explaining that. So where declination angle between the Earth axis of Earth and the Sun, evolving Sun, so that was applied using this mathematical equation, and the angle of inclination is almost near perfect.
So it's scientifically correct.
It is scientific, yes, exactly. So these are all quite exciting. So how people adopted science so many decades, centuries ago, and then now we are learning.
3,000 years later, the same principles apply.
Still applies. Yeah.
Do we know who are the people behind these calendars? You know, like what type of tribes or who the people were?
They are they are from the ancient civilization part of India, so they are still from the DNA aspect or cultural aspect. They are, let's say, we are direct descendants of those. We haven't changed. We still follow our ancient civilization culturally, principle and culturally we still follow. So we haven't changed.
That's amazing. So wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing the story. I understand you also have some photos and pictures, and I'd like to tell also the everybody in the audience, if you have any questions to Sankar, where we're going to post LinkedIn information here in the video, and feel free to connect myself with Sankar, ask any follow-ups. We can have a little discussion and comments here in the video itself. But this has been amazing. Thank you for coming, Sankar, and thank you for great discussion.
Thanks, Jari. Thanks for having me, and also my best wishes to you and Valo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.